last night was the Golden Globes. And we're going to talk little bit later about one or two elements that I think they really did right at the Golden Globes. Overall, it was a fairly snore fest of a thing. Everything except for, I think, the Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig presentation. They tried. Oh, you know what? No. The one presentation where the three main voice actors from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out, and they said, to honor writing, we have decided that our presentation would be written by Hollywood executives. And then they did that part was funny. But other than that, like all the presentations, including Joe Coy, I mean, it was just everybody play it safe. Nobody do anything. Nobody rock the boat. And it was almost like they forgot that they were not in an auditorium filled with 5,000 fans. They were in a small dining room of about 400 executives and half-drunk Hollywood stars, and they weren't going to get a reaction for anybody out of anything. Anyway, all that aside, the awards themselves were quite interesting, and the two big winners of the evening, on the movie side, Oppenheimer. On the television side, it was Succession. Oppenheimer won Best Movie Drama, won Best Director, won Best Lead Actor, won Best Supporting Actor. So they won a lot of the big categories there. Succession kind of cleaned up on the television side. For their final season, they won Best TV Drama, Best Lead Actor, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and a smattering things here and there. Here's some of the big highlight ones here. So, the Golden Globes, Best Motion Picture Drama, of course, went to Oppenheimer. Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy went to Poor Things. I actually think it's going to be a two-horse race at the Oscars between those two. You know what? No, I'm going to throw in a third. I think it's going to be Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Poor Things. I think are probably going to be the big runners for that. Anyway, Best Motion Picture Animated went to The Boy and the Heron. I still think it should have been Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I still think that's the best movie of the year, but whatever. In the most idiotic move in award show history, they went through with their absolutely backwards, stupid Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award, which really could have just been renamed the Hey, how do we get Taylor Swift to come to the award show category? And despite the fact that Oppenheimer won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Lead Actor, Best Supporting Actor, blah, blah. No, apparently Barbie was still better. How? Because it made $10 more. Whatever. It was one of the most idiotic things I've ever seen.
And it was cinematic.
But hey, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Best Motion Picture Non-English Language is Anatomy of Fall, which also had a big night, by the way. Anatomy of Fall had a couple of big wins last night. Best Performance by Male Actor in a Drama. Of course, Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy. Best Performer by a Female Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. No surprise to anybody, Lily Gladstone. She's the odds-on favorite. However, a lot of people still think that Emma Stone has a shot at this as well at the Oscars. Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Motion Picture or Comedy. Again, Emma Stone, because for some idiotic reason, the Golden Globes separate musical and comedy from drama. But only for Best Picture, Best Actor and Actress. But for Best Supporting Actor and Actress, they just put them as any movie in general. Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. I didn't think he would win. I was very happy he won. He is brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
His third win. Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Supporting Role in any Motion Picture, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. A lot of people think it's going to be a race between him and Ryan Gosling at the Oscars. Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role, Divine Joy Randolph, also for The Holdovers. Not a lot of surprise there. A lot of people, a lot of the big awards predictors are saying she's got all the momentum going in. And so not a big surprise that she won that there. And Best Director went to Christopher Nolan. Best Screenplay, Motion Picture, went to Anatomy of a Fall, which was one of the big surprising things. Because you had Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Past Lives, Poor Things, Barbie, all in there for Best Screenplay, and it went to Anatomy of the Fall. And then, a whole bunch of other stuff. So, big night for Oppenheimer, big night for Succession. I don't believe, though, that any of it is any indicator of what's going to happen at the Oscars. Because look, the bottom line, here's the ultimate weakness of the Golden Globes. It's voted on by a bunch of schlub nobodies like me. I'm not one of the voters, but the voters are literally just a handful of schlub nobodies who happen to be journalists for outlets that are overseas. I 100% guarantee you, I know several members of the voting Oscar Academy. Rob, you know several voting members of the Oscar Academy. Ain't none of them are influenced by what this particular pack of schlub nobodies votes on. Right? Now, that's not to say, though, that they may not have picked many of the same winners that the Oscars may pick. Obviously, Oppenheimer's a big favorite. Robert Downey Jr. is one of the big front runners. So we could see many. She very well could win that. Lily Gladstone is probably going to win, although between her and Emma Stone, that could be close. So I don't think there's anything. But you know what? As far as just, despite some of the big idiotic things they did at the show, and despite the fact that they had a number of wins that I would have maybe given it to somebody different, nothing outrageous. Nothing. Like, yeah, I might have given this award to this other person, but this person winning was totally justified too. Like, I thought it was a good, solid rundown of winners. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Harry's. You know, guys, in order to start the John Campea Show, I had to leave my high-paying corporate job in order to set myself up to be happier and enjoy more personal success. Because sometimes to get what you want, you have to challenge the status quo and blaze your own trail. And that's exactly what the folks at Harry's did. You see, at Harry's, they saw customers getting ripped off by questionable products in the shaving industry and decided to do something better. Harry's decided to pave their own road by making beautifully designed razors for a fraction of the price of the other big brands. Exceptional products, honest prices. That's Harry's. I have fallen in love with Harry's, from their foaming shaving gel that feels just luxurious on the skin, to their incredible razor that feels just as good in the hand as it does going over your skin. They've got rich, lathering, skin-softening body wash in scents like redwood, wildlands, and stone. You see, Harry's provides German-engineered blades made in their own factory that stay sharp longer. You can get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. Don't settle for the status quo. Blaze your own trail with Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. That's harrys.com/Campea for a $3 trial set. Rob, what did you think about the winners list we saw? And was there any particular category that stood out to you as being pretty surprising?
Not really. I mean, I thought it was pretty much by the numbers what I expected to happen. I mean, look, John, Oppenheimer was my favorite movie of the year. I think it's an incredible, staggering achievement. Succession, obviously, I loved Succession. So all of these things, I mean, not only was there no surprises, but I felt like everybody deserved these awards. I mean, Kieran Culkin was not a surprise to me, because even there's the one episode this season where, I mean, his acting was beyond. It was incredible.
Yeah, but any of the 3 dudes nominated from Succession,
of course,
if any of them won, I think I would have been cool with it.
Yeah, 100%. And so there really wasn't anything that surprised me pretty much, I don't think, at all. I did think Lily Gladstone, I know she's like an odds-on favorite, but like Emma Stone is front and center of Poor Things. And was she even nominated?
For Best Lead Actress in a Musical or Comedy, and she won that category.
Right. Okay. Because that was the thing. So they weren't competing against each other. I wouldn't call music. Yeah, but in the Oscars, I'm thinking in the Oscars they're going to be. I don't think Lily Gladstone was a lead. You know, I mean, she was the lead female in that movie, but she was kind of a supporting actress.
But I'll say that because of the length of that movie,
yeah,
she was probably in that movie more than the length of most other major motion pictures.
It's true. But I mean, I thought Poor Things is an extraordinary movie, and I love Emma Stone. But what she did in that role was fearless. And I wouldn't call it necessarily musical or comedy.
I laughed during it, but I mean,
yeah.
And I don't mean, I mean that genuinely, like I laughed during it, but.
Yeah, no, but
yeah, it's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy. But I think for the most part, it was pretty good. I mean, I was like, okay, these awards, because sometimes the Golden Globes have gone off the rails in terms of who they've given the awards to. But I thought last night was pretty legitimate. I mean, I think the Golden Globes know that they're under scrutiny. They're hanging by a thread anyway because of all the different controversies. And I think this was the year that this was their comeback year where they made sure that the awards, both the nominees and the winners, were as legitimate as possible. I still think the two categories are kind of goofy.
Yeah,
but
I agree too. I mean, like to that point, like The Bear, which also was a big winner last night, under the category of musical or comedy show, which now, but they're not alone. I think the Emmys may categorize the Bear as a comedy as well, right? I think the awards, and I don't, this sounds like a criticism, but it isn't. I mean this as a positive thing. I think you're right, Rob. I think they knew this was a make or break show for them.
Yes.
Because everybody they're under the microscope. And I think they went very, very safe with who they voted for winners. And that's not a bad thing. The very fact that they still have that idiotic box office achievement award and had to have Taylor Swift there and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's funny because it's cinematic and box office achievement. And while I thought Barbie, in terms of its look and feel, was pretty extraordinary, but in terms of the cinematic arts, Oppenheimer's beyond.
Well, that just kind of highlights the ridiculousness of it, right? Oppenheimer wins Best Picture, wins Best Director, wins Best Actor, wins Best Supporting Actor. Oh, but Barbie's the better movie in this category. Anyway, so
why don't they just say special award for box office champion of the year?
Yeah, I mean,
because
you might as well, right?
I mean, Oppenheimer almost grossed $1 billion. Oppenheimer outgrossed Inception.
Yeah, a historical piece, like it's
a historical biopic. Because anybody who's interested in movies from all walks of life, if you saw Oppenheimer in the theater, it's an astonishing achievement in motion picture.
Yeah, it was incredible. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.